The first thing you'll need to know when you arrive on the first day of work is how to log into our production and quality tracking program called Epicor. The computer located by the cam room is where you will be logging into and out of Epicor. Begin by typing your employee ID. If you don't have a login ID, or if you forgot, let your supervisor know and they will help you out. Next, click Start Production Activity and type the full job number provided by your supervisor. For operation type, always type 10, and for assembly, type 0. Now you can click OK and log out of Epicor so the next person can jump straight in. At the end of a production job, anything more than 25 parts, you will need to report quantities into Epicor. Repeat the same login procedure with your user ID, then click Report Quantity. Put the number of parts you made in the box, Current, and click OK. At the end of the day, you'll log back into Epicor with your employee ID and select End Activity. Record the number of good parts you ran into Current, and then record the number of scrap parts you may have accidentally made into Scrap Parts. Select a reason and hit OK. Press OK again to proceed to clock out. At Harbeck, safety is our #1 priority. Machines can be very dangerous if the proper precautions are not taken. When operating the mill, always start by putting on safety glasses to protect your eyes from any stray material. If the machine crashes for some reason, hit the emergency stop button and report to the best of your knowledge what happened to your supervisor. Always remember to close the doors completely before cycling and make sure any vice handles are removed. When removing parts, be sure to keep your hands away from any sharp edges. They can be razor sharp, and if handled incorrectly can leave deep cuts. When using the lathe, safety glasses are just as important. Same as the mill, if there's a machine crash, hit the emergency stop button and alert your supervisor. Like the mill, it's crucial that machine doors are closed before cycling to protect from any mishap. These machines have many sharp edges, so be careful to watch for them when removing parts. Stringy chips from the turning process may be present. Please use a chip tool for removal to avoid deep cuts. Safety must always be considered with the bandsaw as well. Always make sure to wear safety glasses. Always use a pusher to cut your part, not your hands. Additionally, never put your hands in front of the blade where the sharp edge is. When using the horizontal bandsaw, always feed the material from the back and never reach under the saw blade. Even with guards present, material can still fly at you when using the pedestal grinder. Please remember to put on safety glasses before use. For the guards to work correctly, make sure they are within 1/8 of an inch of the wheel. You can make sure of this with the gauges attached to the grinder and adjust accordingly. Never grind aluminum, plastic, glass, brass, or copper. These are soft materials and will gum up the pores of the wheel. There are a number of different measurement tools that you'll use to check that the parts you make fit into the size tolerance. This is a crucial aspect of your job, as it ensures the quality and precision we strive for at Harbeck. Some of the most important tools you'll need to know are the mechanical and digital calipers. They both have the same function, but one is read manually using a dial and ruler, and the other has a digital display showing the measurement. You can measure depths, inner dimensions, and outer dimensions with this tool. For the digital caliper, the measurement is displayed. For the mechanical caliper, you add the dimension shown on the ruler to the number displayed on the dial. This will give you the total dimension of the feature that you're inspecting. If the measurement is out of tolerance, try measuring in a different way. Usually it's the way that the part is being measured that's incorrect, not the part. If something is off, please let your supervisor know right away. The height stand is another important tool you'll need to know how to use. First, zero the dial on the probe to the Measure From plane and zero the digital readout. Next, move the probe to the feature you're inspecting and zero the dial again. The measurement will be on the digital readout and you can record it from there. The Tesla height gauge is located in the quality department, and it's another tool that will be very helpful to know how to use. Before each use, you'll need to calibrate the tip. Press the calibrate button, F2, twice. Place the calibration tool between the probe, then move it up and down twice. If ST2 is displayed on the screen, you've successfully calibrated the gauge. Now you can make a measurement. Press F2 again and touch the tip 2 times to the measure from point, or on the top and bottom of the area you're measuring if you need the 0 point between 2 planes. This will establish a 0 that your measurements will come from. Once the 0 is established, measure the distance by touching the probe to the desired feature until it beeps. 2 touch-offs are required to display the measurement. To measure holes in threads, you'll be using tools called go and no-go gauges. In a good part, the go gauge will fit and the no-go gauge won't. The opposite is true with a bad part. When checking threads, the no-go gauge will often be able to thread in part way, but it should never pass more than 3/4 of a turn. If it does, alert your supervisor as soon as possible to avoid future bad parts. Please let your supervisor know if there are any further questions. It's better to ask than to mess up parts, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. Before running any job, make sure to check the coolant levels of your machine and top off if necessary. To top off your machine, get a coolant top-off drum usually located near the time clock and coolant recycler. Top off the drum if necessary with coolant from the coolant recycler, and then move the drum to your mill and top off the tank. Make sure you don't fill your tank while the machine is running, or else it will flood the tank and spill over when it does stop. If the coolant seems too thick, straight water can be added to the sump without harm. Once the coolant is filled and the machine has been chipped out, you should then go over your shift transfer sheet. Be sure to check the job number which you will use for Epicor login, the part number given by the customer that correlates to the job number, the date of setup, the due date, the quantity of parts ordered, the operation number or what step of production the part is in, the cycle time or how long the part will take to run, the material the part is being made from along with the material lot number, the blank size or initial stock size, the 0 locations used for measurement, the setup person, the geometry location or where the job information and geometry can be found in the directory, the inspection criteria for specific operation, and the job process where you'll find all required tools and notes to the operator on how to run the job. After reviewing the STS, please address any questions or concerns with the machinist who set up the job or your supervisor. If you're picking up the job from a previous shift, ask the operator if there are any concerns with a part that need to be watched, like a tight tolerance or deburr process that needs to be followed. Be sure to run the job exactly as stated and thoroughly check the first part's dimensions before continuing on with production. Remember to record inspection readings on the in-process inspection sheet if applicable to the job. The in-process inspection sheet contains specific aspects of the part you need to check are correct in order to continue with production. Be sure to review inspection frequency. For example, if stated 50%, you check every other part, and 25% you check every fourth. This sheet will tell you what dimensions the part should have in either English or metric, and what inspection instrument you should be using to check these. There will also be an area on the sheet titled Print Location. Here you will see a number which you will match up with the number on the supplied blueprint. This ensures that you are matching up the right portion of the part to the dimension that's supposed to be measured. The last 15 minutes of your shift is set aside for operators to clean up their work areas. The cleanliness of our building is essential in assuring efficiency and safety in the workplace. Please use this time to sweep up your area with one of the brooms located throughout the building, throw away any garbage you may see, chip out your machine, check the back of the machine for waste oil levels and empty it into the waste oil drum if necessary, and remember to check coolant levels as well and top off if needed. We hope you're as excited as we are for your first day. Our employees are our most valuable asset here at Harbeck, and the quality and precision of your work makes a huge difference. We always strive to make the best parts in the most efficient way possible. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask your supervisor. That's what they're there for. Harbeck is a place where, if you take advantage of it, there's endless opportunities for personal and professional growth. Get ready for an exciting future.